Good morning. This is an introductory study of Part 3 of Hegel's System of Absolute Science, the Science of Nature. We shall begin with an expanded review of yesterday's lecture, since some of you wanted more on the three main sciences of logic, nature, and spirit, and the concept's three UPI moments. History is now over. The history of philosophy on planet Earth is nothing but the universe becoming conscious of itself in the form of absolute universal science. Hence, the Greeks were right. The universe is intelligible. It can be understood. Most importantly, there is only one philosophy or science, which is in fact God's science or knowledge of himself, herself, which the university is destined to become. It was Plato and Aristotle who set the agenda by insisting that humanity exit the cave of multiplicity and separation and enter the reality of unity, or God's self-thinking thought, achieved in the modern period, first with Descartes' shift from objects outside us to our subject in consciousness, and finally with Kant, Fichte, Schelling, and Hegel's transformation of philosophy into absolute science, Wissenschaft, the unity of all the sciences. We must also note this. Now, for 200 years, our best minds have struggled to understand Hegel's logic, the master key to science, with varying success. There is growing consensus that Richard Winfield has finally cracked the code in his recent book, Hegel's Science of Logic, a critical rethinking in 30 lectures. As a result, the floodgates of absolute science are now open. So, tremendous kudos to Richard Winfield. Now, to do or engage in absolute science, or to know everything, the whole, you must first have the concept, and know that the concept, the self, is all reality. You must first have overcome the number one illusion of the separation of the concept, yourself, and reality, of subject and object, self and other. Hence, the introduction to absolute science, or Hegel's phenomenology. So with the concept in hand, you are now in a position to know everything in its essence. As Hegel says, quote, "The concept is alles, everything, and it contains within itself the infinite realm of all that is objective." Butler 2:12. Thus, to know anything truly, we just look for the determinations of the concept in nature and spirit, or intelligence, or in a given object of investigation. The moments of the concept are universality, particularity, and individuality, UPI. Thus, after you've achieved the concept via the introduction, you unfold its determinations in the science of logic, epitomized in UPI. And then you organize and translate the contents of the real sciences of nature and spirit, for example, physics, botany, anthropology, sociology, into the concept. As Hegel says, the absolute scientist simply, quote, makes the contents of the real or empirical sciences imitate the free creative thought of the concept. Oh, and note, we don't impose the concept on a content or thing from the outside. since the thing already contains the concept's moments within itself. We just discern them. So, briefly, as to logic. What is logic? Logic is the concept or idea as pure thought enclosed in itself or unexpressed. It is the logos through which all that is was created, and Aristotle's highest thought, noesis noesios, self-thinking thought, God's essence, fully revealed and explicated.